What's up everyone, welcome to Kaiser Channel. Today we'll be comparing between the black gold frame Amatsu Mina with the white gold frame Amatsu Hana. As I personally do not own the black version, so it actually took a while to find someone who was able to lend me for this video. So, without wasting any more time, let us get started. To start off, obviously what strikes you first is the color scheme difference. The Mina is a black and gold, while the Hana is white and gold. As you might already know, the black on the Mina is a very gloss black, while the white is a matte white for the Hana. As for the gold, there is actually a difference between the two. The glossy shiny gold where the metal components are, they're actually a lot brighter and shinier than the Mina one. However, for the matte gold, on the plastic part around it, you can see that the color is actually darker on the Mina, but paint-wise, Hana does a better job of it as it is being a much finer and not as rough as the Mina one. And most probably this is because due to the technology they have advanced on the paint, and that's why the Hana ones has a better paint job. With the Hana version being the elegant version, so the Mina is definitely lacking the nice elegant gold feathers that's all around it on the Hana. Physical differences can be seen starting from the head. The Hana version has actually two antennas that resembles the Valkyrie helmets, where the Mina doesn't have that. However, just like the Hana version, the Mina's head tip gimmicks is still there and can move freely just as the Hana is. Another noticeable difference is that on the left shoulder, you can actually see that the Mina has only one layer with the Japanese character Amatsu on it, while the Hana has the extra layer with the feather design on it, but doesn't have any characters underneath it. Just as I have mentioned in my review video, the Hana's front layer can rotate left and right, while the back layer can flip up, which the Mina one doesn't have any of these movable gimmicks. The shoulder top layer, the Kamudo no Tsurugi, it is much shorter and more rectangular on the Mina, while the Hana one is more like a blade, following its name. Another thing is that the red part of it can actually be flipped down, and also completely be removed from the top for the Hana one, while the Mina one doesn't have this at all. To sum up basically, the Mina version doesn't have any gimmick on the left shoulder, and the Hana has quite a bit. Aside from those, the rest of the body is pretty much the same with the exception of the coloring and also the decals. Movement wise, both move just as well as each other than the ankle joint that the Hana ones is very stiff and hard to move, while there's absolutely no issues with the Mina one. Now, not sure why this has actually gotten worse for the Hana, but this is an issue that's also seen on the blue frame itself. So, Bandai might have screwed up on something recently on the Astrays. Hopefully they'll actually correct this for the upcoming metal builds. As for the backpack, the Maga no Ikutachi, the back part near the circular hook at the end, the Hana has this black piece with the gold elegant design on it, while the Mina one has just a very simple piece that's with the same color as the rest of it. Aside from the looks, the new design piece on the Hana actually makes the moving end gimmicks a little harder to move in compared to the Mina one, which is a much more easier. Here, I personally think it's actually good that Bandai makes it more elegant for the Hana, but it also makes it more difficult for you to move this part. So I think Bandai made it a very good job by making it very elegant for the Hana version, but they should also keep in mind that the transformable gimmick should be consistent between the two and having it easier to transform. So in here, they actually made it worse on the transformation. Other than that, the Hana one is a nice simple matte white with not much details on it, while the Mina one has a big Amatsu character on the left wings, and also the silver linings all around it. Moving on is the armaments. Basically both of them has the exact same type of weapons, but only a color difference. With the exception of Hana, that has one extra sword and scalpel on it, which is the Ame no Habakiri no Tsurugi. So let's take a look at them one by one. Starting off, we have the two swords that's wielded on the side, the Totsuka no Tsurugi. The overall design is both the same, but the Mina version one has a very shiny silver with a tone of pink to it for the blade, and the decals on it, it's a really sharp red, while the handle, it's a dark purple. As for the Hana, the blade is actually colored in a metallic silver and the decals uses a darker red to be a lot more subtle, while the handle is a lighter purple. Next we have is the spear, the Okitsu no Kagami. Again, both of them looks identical in spear form except the coloring. But if you open up the spear and look inside the decals, you would notice that the decals is actually slightly different. First and most obvious is the color, where the Mina one is in silver and the Hana one is in gold. Second is on the left panel, it has the orb decals, while the Hana one doesn't have it. Third, all the lines decals has become a much more fine and elegant on the Hana version. Aside from that, they're pretty much the same. Moving along, we have is the claw, Tsumuha no Tachi. Again, it's only a color difference. The gold is pretty much the same, only a slightly darker on the Mina. The cover for the Mina is actually a metallic color with a tone of pink, while the Hana one is a dark metallic gray. The name decals is actually white for the Mina, while the Hana one is red. And that's it. Last but not least is the beam rifle / shield, the Triceros Kai. On the Mina version, the tip of the rifle isn't colored unlike the Hana version, which makes the overall rifle looks a lot more realistic. Another thing is that the Mina version's red paint isn't actually done very well. You can see that it's actually painted on only a thin color of red, which can't really cover up the black underneath. This isn't an issue of painting red over the black, since the other red parts on the Mina on the body isn't like that at all, so it's only here that it's painted like that. Aside from the beam rifle, the blade underneath it is also slightly different. The decals is now more elegant and is also in gold. But another really interesting part that most people will probably miss, and even myself until doing this video, is that the model number is different as well. The Mina is P01 RE2 while the Hana is RE3. Which is telling us that the mobile suits has been upgraded that made it into the revision 3. As for the Lancer darts, the Hana version has only a very dull single metallic color, while the Mina version has a bit more coloring, with majority of it as a silver and the end booster bit is a light metallic purple. Very minor difference. As for the base of the display stand, not only is the color is different, but also the major difference is that the Japanese character on the right side. The Mina version has the Amatsu character on it, while the Hana one, of course, is the Hana character. Not only that, but also the machine and pilot's information are also different as well, written on the left side. Another major difference for the stand is that the Mina doesn't come with a set of smaller stands for you to display it standing vertically, just like the Hana. So definitely the Mina misses out on this particular part on the display stand, which I believe is kind of unfortunate. In conclusion, which one do I prefer more? On this particular case, it's actually very difficult to decide, since the two of them are virtually the same. But the coloring and decals also sets them apart. I like the Mina version with the black and gold scheme, as well as the decals on it that is far more than the Hana version. However, the Hana version goes for the elegant looks by ditching most of the decals and setting on those gold feathers that you see all around it, matching it with its matte white. So both of them, I like it with their own uniqueness. If I have to choose between the two, I will actually go with the Hana version with only a slight minor difference. And this is because the Hana version, the left shoulder gimmicks, as well as it does contain one more sword than the Mina version. So cost benefit wise, the Hana wins on this. And thus, I would choose the Hana over the Mina version. Good thing I pushed back this video, because for those who like the Mina version, don't rush out and try to look for it yet, since Bandai recently showed us that they'll be releasing a new Mina version, which is the Empress of the Sky version that I mentioned in the Tamashi Nation video. So be sure to check it out if you haven't. So that's it with today's comparison video. Which of the goldframe Amatsu do you like better? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this and find it useful. Do subscribe me by hitting that like button, and also subscribe me to my channel for more videos. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.